Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Melissa, and tonight I'll be guiding you through all levels yoga. We will practice together for 45 minutes. Just a reminder to listen to your body. If any stretches don't work for you, you can always skip them, come on out and modify. And things that you'll need for your practice today, it's always nice to have a yoga mat. It's always nice to have a yoga block or a blanket close by. So if you can easily grab those, go for that. And if you don't have them, that's okay. We can just kind of work around that tonight. And we are going to go through all levels yoga, like I mentioned. So this will be a nice flow for the full body. So we can work on releasing the hips and the low back and stretch out the legs. We'll get to the shoulders, the neck, and we'll just do a whole full body flow, which will be really great. And this will be accessible to all levels. So as we start today, I just wanted to start with a little poem that I came across the other day that I thought ties in nicely to the yoga practice. You've got to take care of yourself, and not just once in a while or when you realize how desperately you need it, but every single day. Taking care of yourself doesn't have to mean fancy baths or face masks. It doesn't have to mean traveling far or turning your whole life upside down. It certainly can, but everyone is different. Truly taking care of yourself simply means nourishing your mind, body, and spirit in ways that work for you. It means finding a balance within your everyday life that allows you to do the things you love and feel at peace. It means nourishing yourself within to be able to take that out into the world. And I really love that. I think that is so beautiful. And, I think that yoga is a wonderful self-care practice, self-love practice. It really gives us that opportunity to connect with ourselves and just gives us that nice time to relax a little bit. So it's really wonderful. So as we start today, I was thinking we could come into standing. We'll start in a mountain pose in Tadasana. And as you start in standing, we will just bring our feet in line with our hips. We'll stack our shoulders over our hips and then gently releasing your shoulders. We'll take our full breath in, take your shoulders up, back, and down, and then breathe in here. Take the shoulders up, back, and down. Let's go one more time. Inhale and exhale. Letting your shoulders relax, letting your eyes close. And let's do a centering here. We'll just release our day. We'll drop into our breath in the present moment. So as we center here, feel really grounded in your feet. Press through the inside and the outside of each foot. Maybe lift your 10 toes from the mat. And then slowly place the toes just one at a time. So creating this nice grounded sensation in your feet. Adding a bend into your knees. Engage your core, tuck your tailbone, lengthen your spine, lengthen the back of your neck, reach and stretch through the crown of the head. Drop in and connect to the rise and the fall of your breath. And then lengthening as you inhale and lengthening as you exhale. And then maybe encouraging your exhale to be a little longer than the inhale. We are going to breathe moving the hands. So let's start with our palms facing up. We will breathe into our stomach, ribs, and chest. Let your palms face down and let's release from our chest, ribs, and the stomach. Palms can face up, full breath in, stomach, ribs, and chest. Exhale, release from your chest, ribs, and your stomach. And move with your breath here. So when we link movement with our breath, it's really one of the fastest and easiest ways of helping us drop into the present moment and drop into the present breath. It gives us that bit of an anchor point, which is really nice. Let's take a moment to draw the hands at the heart space. Set an intention for your practice. So your intention could be anything that you would like it to be. Maybe to practice a little self-care tonight, to give back to yourself. It could also be that you want to try to get the best stretch, or maybe you have tension that you're holding to maybe offer a little bit of a release to that area. Take a full breath in here. Let's reach and stretch our hands to the sky. Fingers will interlock, palms will press up. Full breath to lengthen, release to the right and release to the left. We'll just create a bit of a wiggle here in the waist, shifting to the right and shifting to the left. So as we flow from side to side here, try to feel really grounded through both of your feet. So inside and outside of each foot. Let's give ourselves a moment to pause, release to the right. Feel your left hip pressing to the left. And then lengthen through that whole side body, through the arm and through the fingertips. Let's bring ourselves back up through the center. Full breath to lengthen and release to the left. Ground evenly through both of your feet. So inside and outside of each foot. We'll float ourselves back to center. Let's release the hands behind the body. Coming into a yoga mudra. So for yoga mudra, we will draw our fingers interlocking, palms will touch, and maybe imagine that you could squeeze a pencil between the shoulder blades. This will be a really nice heart opening stretch, helps you to relax your shoulders a little bit. Let's fold ourselves down as you exhale. Arms can run along your back, and you can also release your arms away from your back body if you'd like. Try to relax the fronts of your shoulders and just notice if that helps you move a little deeper into your shoulder stretch. Gently release your hands onto your low back. Float your hands down towards the ground and shake it out a little bit here. So it may feel nice to bend one knee, to bend the other knee, and then relax your head yes, and relax your head no. So if the ground is feeling far away, maybe bring your hands on blocks for support, and you can also have a deep bend in your knees too if that is needed. Let's bring our hands to the right. We'll find a side stretch here. Try to ground evenly through both of your feet. So inside and outside of each foot. Let's come back to center. Release to the left. Reach and stretch from your right waist. Let's lengthen through the side body, through the arm, and through the fingertips. Come back up through the center. Land yourself back into a forward fold. Let's plant our hands. We'll take our right foot back for a runner's lunge. Right knee will lower and begin to bend and straighten your front leg. And we are just going to flow here with our breath. So if the ground is feeling far away, maybe bring your hands up on blocks for support. If your right knee is sensitive, you can always grab a blanket to pad your knee. Straighten your front leg. Let yourself fold over here. So we'll just let our spine relax. Try to relax the back of your head and relax the back of your neck. The left knee will bend. Left hand to the sky on exhale. Find a twist. And then as you're twisting here with your in-breath, feel your spine lengthen. On your out-breath, let your twist deepen. Let's do a reset. We're going to float ourselves into tabletop. Lower your stomach down. Let's lift up through the heart. Let your tailbone lower and let the crown of your head lower. And then we are just going to flow through cat and dog stretch for a moment. Lengthen as you inhale. Lengthen as you exhale. As you inhale, let your shoulders relax from your ears. We'll create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, really round your back. So imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Coming into a neutral spine here, let's bring that right foot up in between the hands. Float yourself into that knee down lunge, and we will bend and straighten our front leg. So the most important alignment cue here is to make sure that your knee and your ankle are in the same line. So we just don't want our knee to be moving too far forward here. And we just find our rhythmic flow. So exhale, leg will straighten, inhale, knee will bend. And we're just gonna take this flow for the legs and the hips. This will be really great if you are holding some tension in your low back, in your hips, in your legs. Straighten your front leg, let's fold it over. Let your spine relax. Relax your head, relax your neck. Right knee bends. Let's take our right hand to the sky on the exhale, twist. Roll your right shoulder back, left shoulder under, and feel that your heart is shining to the sky. Let's float our hand down. Core engages. Let's land in a forward fold. We'll bring our left foot to meet our right foot. Half lift here. Forward fold. Let's come on up. We will rise into a mountain pose as you breathe in, and take your hands at your heart as you breathe out. Take your hands to the sky, full breath in. Take your right hand for your left wrist, and then take your left foot to the right. So we'll have our legs crossed here. We'll take a full breath to lengthen. Release your hands to the right. And almost create a little sensation that that right hand could pull your left hand to the right side of the run. Come back to center. We'll keep those legs how they are. Change up the grip in the hands and release to the left. Try to roll that left shoulder under, right shoulder open. And release. We will do a reset on our hands and our feet, and then try this one on the other side. Hands sweep up, breathe in. Left hand for your right wrist, and then right foot to the left. Lengthen and release to the left. And try to ground evenly through both of your feet. So inside and outside of each foot. Come back on through to center. Full breath to lengthen and release to the right. Breathe really deeply here. So expand the lungs and expand through the ribs. Let's release the hands down. We'll do a reset on our feet, and then reaching for opposite elbows behind your body. So take our right hand for our left elbow, left hand for the right elbow. And maybe imagine that you could squeeze that pencil between the shoulder blades. Try to open the chest and the heart. And then change up the stretch in the arms. So we'll just check in which hand is on the bottom, which hand is on the top. Again, relax your shoulders down. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's release our hands down. Take a full breath in. Hands reach and stretch to the sky. Fold yourself down as you exhale. Let's bring ourselves into a half lift here. Plant your hands. Take your right foot back. Right knee will lower. Hands to the sky. Let's try out a knee down warrior. We'll come into Untitled. So for this one, you'll try to be on the upper part of your right knee. That tends to be a little bit softer part of the knee and a little bit fleshier part of the knee. Let's bring our hands down. We're going to land in a runner's lunge, left foot to right foot. As you take plank, we are going to find that high push-up pose. Knees can always lower, and we'll work with Sphinx Pose. So lower all the way down to the mat. Let your hands come out in front of you a little bit. Bring your elbows in line with your shoulders. Maybe reach for opposite arms here. Breathe into your low back bend. Stay here, maybe lift up. So hands press down, elbows lift up. Maybe elbows wrap in towards one another for low Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Arms can straighten. Let's bring ourselves to seal. Reach and stretch through the crown of the head. Lower down to the mat. Let's take a full breath here. Press back to downward facing dog as you exhale. Toes curl under, sitting bones to sky, and shake it out in your downward facing dog. So it may feel nice to bend one knee, to bend the other knee. Relax your head yes, and relax your head no. Let's bring our right leg up to the sky. We'll take it to a three-limbed dog. Right foot floats forward, left knee will lower, hands to the sky. So these knee down warriors are really good for your hips. So a lot of times when we're sitting through the day, our hip flexors and psoas shorten. Those are the muscles in the front of the hips. We're going to give them a nice stretch. And then we also get a really nice quad stretch on this one. Let's float our hands down. We are going to do a reset back into a forward fold. half lift here. Fold to the earth. Let's come on up. Rising for that standing pose. Hands at the heart space as you exhale. Hands to the sky. Let's breathe in here. Fold yourself down. Breathe out. Halfway lift. Plant your hands and left foot back. Left knee lowers. Hands to the sky as you inhale. And then just gently letting those hips drop forward and down. That's going to help you to deepen that hip flexor and that psoas stretch. Let's bring our hands down. Runner's lunge. Come on back to plank, right foot to left. Moving into boat, lower all the way down to the mat. Bring your arms alongside your body, palms face down, and then take your hands behind your body for Yoga Mudra. Lifting when you're ready, legs lift, torso lifts, arms lifting up. Try to relax your shoulders back and down. Breathe here into your low back, mid back, and upper back bend. Float yourself to the mat. Take a full breath here. Let's press it back. Downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky. 3-limbed dog. Left foot floats forward. Right knee will lower. Hands to the sky. Inhale here. Let's try to square our hips and our shoulders forward. So we're going to bring that right knee or right hip rather and right shoulder forward, left hip and left shoulder back. Let's bring our hands down. We're going to come forward into a fold. Let's bring ourselves to a half lift. Fold yourself down to the mat. Let's rise up. Full breath in. And hands at the heart space for a full breath out. Let's take our hands to the sky. We're going to breathe in here. Forward fold. Breathe out. Halfway lift. Put your hands. Let's take our right foot back. Right knee will lower. Hands to the sky. Core engages here. Feel your tailbone tuck. Feel the navel move back and up to the spine a little bit. Hands can float down. Runner's lunge, plank. Moving into Cobra, lower all the way down to the mat. Hands under the shoulders. Glue the tops of your feet down. Core engages. Let's rise up and trying to lift to your navel. Hug the arms into the sides of your body. Let your elbows run straight back. And almost create a little sensation like you could lift your hands from the mat. So really strengthen those back muscles. Let's bring it down to the mat. Full breath here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg to the sky. This time let's bend, stack, open. We're going to give ourselves a nice little hip stretch here. Reset back to 3-limbed dog. Right foot forward. Left knee lowers, hands sweep up. Feel your shoulders relax away from your ears. We'll create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. Hands come down, left foot to right, forward, fold, half lift here. And release. Let's come on up. Rising for mountain. Hands at the heart space. Exhale. Let's take our hands up. Breathe in. Exhale. Fold. Inhale. Half. Plant your hands. Left foot back. Left knee lowers. Hands to the sky. Inhale. Let's try to feel the arms really active. Arms frame the ears. Fingers are active. Reach. Stretch through your fingertips. Hands come down. Runner's lunge to plank. Lower all the way down. Let's take a king cobra pose here. So hands under the shoulders. Then walk your hands off to the sides of the mat. Maybe a foot on one side, a foot on the other side. Be tented up on your fingertips, elbows to the sky. Glue the tops of your feet down. Let's rise up. Either straighten your arms out or have a bend in the elbows and keep your elbows pointing to the sky. So whatever feels best in your back. And this is really going to help you to open up your low back a bit more. Float it down to the mat. Let's take a full breath here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky. Bend the knee, let's stack. We will open up through the hips. We'll reset ourselves back to that 3-limb dog. Left foot forward, right knee lowers, hands to the sky as you inhale. Let's drop in and connect with our breath here. We are going to breathe into our stomach, ribs, and chest. Float the hands down. Let's take our right foot to meet our left. Come into a forward fold. Halfway lift and release. Let's come on up. We'll rise for mountain, hands at heart, exhale. Give yourself a moment to pause. Maybe take one hand to your heart, maybe one to your navel, and close the eyes for a moment. So maybe feel your heart beating. Connect to the life force, to the energy inside of your body. And then also feel your body reacting to your breath. As you inhale, feel your chest rise and feel your navel rise. As you exhale, feel your chest fall and feel your navel fall. And then knowing each time that you breathe, you bring life, you bring oxygen to all of the cells throughout your body. From here, let's try dancer pose. We'll come into Natarajasana. So for this one, we'll take our right hand for our right foot. And you can grab on the outside of the foot if you would like. And if you would like more of a shoulder stretch, you can grab on the inside of the foot. Left hand will reach out in front. Maybe take index and thumb to touch for a mudra. Begin to kick your foot into the hand to take yourself forward. So anytime we balance, we want to find a drishti. We want to find that one spot to focus concentration, to focus awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eyes shift at all. As we release dancer pose, let's try out a crescent warrior. So we'll take our right foot back. Right heel is lifted. We'll bring our hands to the sky as you inhale. And then try to be right on the toes of your right foot so that the majority of your foot is lifted. And then actively press through the heel and the back of your knee. Springing off your right foot, we will kick that right leg out in front. Flex your foot, press through the heel and the back of the knee. Let's pulse it down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's send it back for warrior one pose. And then as you're aligning here in warrior one, ground really firmly into your right heel. We'll press firmly into the outer edge of the right foot to get a little calf stretch and a hamstring stretch here. Let's take our right hand down our back. Left hand will draw you into that stretch. So we're just going to kind of frame the ears with the arms. Try to relax your shoulders from your ears. Just move deeper into that stretch. Hands to the sky, full breath in. Left hand lowers, right hand draws you into that stretch. Try to open the chest and the heart. Relax your shoulders back and down. Let's take our hands to the sky. Nice full breath here. Arms alongside your body, palms face forward. Core engages. Let's bend deeper into that front knee and we'll work with a variation called flying warrior. So this one, you'll want a deeper bend in your front knee and then we'll feel our torso moving at a 45-degree angle. So we create this line from our right heel to the crown of the head. Spring off your right foot, warrior 3 pose. Lots of options with the arms and the hands on this one. Maybe hands at prayer at heart. Maybe arms alongside your body, palms face down. Maybe hands reach and stretch in front of you. Let's try warrior 2 from here. Right foot back, ground into your back foot. Hands reach forward and back. So we'll just want to make sure that our front heel is in line with our back arch, that our shoulders are over our hips, and our hands are reaching forward and reaching back. Reverse, float that front hand up and float it back. Backhand can glide down your back leg. Maybe wrap your arm around your low back or reach for the other hip crease. Take a half bind here. Windmill those hands down. Let's take it down to lateral angle. So arm can lower to your leg. If you had your yoga block, you could always bring your hand down to your block. Hand right to the sky. Maybe arm frame your ear. Create a little angle here. You can also wrap your arm around your low back, reach for the other hip crease and take a half bind. Core engages. Let's bring it up. Warrior two. Straighten your front leg, front hand up, front hand back, reverse triangle stretch. Let's breathe really deeply here. Imagine creating space between the ribs. We're going to float ourselves up, neutral spine, and working with pyramid. So for pyramid, right foot will take a hop forward, not all the way to the top of your mat, but just a little bit of a step forward. So maybe a couple feet between the feet. Have your right toes turned up your yoga mat, just how your left toes are, and try to square your hips and your shoulders forward here. So we want to be really kind to our knees on this one. Let's take our hands to the sky. We're going to breathe in deeply. Fold yourself down on exhale. This is where those yoga blocks are nice. You can always bring your hands down on blocks for support. And just noticing here where you're feeling the stretch. So we all experience each pose really differently. Maybe feeling the stretch through the backs of your legs, maybe feeling that stretch in your low back, and then maybe through the back of your head and neck as you let your head relax and you let your head release. Let's try out a twist. Right hand plants, left hand rises on exhale. Pyramid twist. And then with your twist, try to stack and open your shoulders. We'll try to feel our shoulders in one line and feel the wrists in one line as well. You can stay here. If you wanted to invite challenge into the pose, right leg can lift up. This brings us into a twist, a revolve balancing half moon pose. You can flex your right foot, press through the heel in the back of your knee. Hang out here if you wanted to invite even more challenge, maybe hand for your foot, take a little bit of a bind here, and create a sensation of kicking the foot into the hand. So breathing here. Let's unwrap our pose. So we are going to come back to a standing splits pose. So both of the hands down to the mat, right leg up towards the sky. In standing splits, try to look at the wall behind you. Maybe take your gaze to the ceiling up behind your body. Let's bring our right foot to meet our left foot. That will bring us into a forward fold. And you can shake out your legs here. So it may feel nice to bend one knee, to bend the other knee. Relax your head, yes. And relax your head, no. Reach for opposite elbows behind the backs of your legs. You can take a nice deep bend in your knees. We'll try to reach for opposite elbows and then work on straightening the legs here. So that will just help you flow into a bit of a deeper forward fold. And release. Let's bring our hands down to the earth. Half lift here. Fold yourself down. Core engages. Let's rise up. Full breath in. Hands at your heart space and full breath out. And maybe taking a moment just to pause, close your eyes, and notice if you sense a difference. So we just did this really nice flow on one side of the body. You may feel that one side of the body feels more open, the hips feel more open, and then maybe the other side feels a little heavier and maybe not quite as open. So it's just kind of neat to observe the two sides of the body and just really strengthen that connection to our body. Let's bring our left hand for the left foot and we'll try out dancer on the other side. Grab on the outside or grab on the inside. Right hand comes up. Index and thumb come together. Float it forward. Dancer pose, Natarajasana. And as you take dancer, if you wanted to work with that mudra, that's where we take our index and our thumb to come together. Pads of the fingers touch our chin mudra, yana mudra. And they say that this mudra is great for calming the mind and body. It's great for cultivating concentration and creativity. Let's transition to a crescent warrior from here. Imagine if you could see yourself from behind, that you would create this line that flows from your heel to your hips. You want to have this long line of energy that flows through your body. Springing off your left foot, let's kick that left leg right out in front of us. We are going to do some pulsing here. Let's take it down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it back for warrior one. And in warrior one, try to ground really firmly into your back foot and encourage your hips and your shoulders to square forward. Maybe check in with your own body and notice where you feel the stretch. Shoulder release here, left hand on your back. Right hand can draw you into that stretch. Hips, shoulders square forward. Inhale and exhale. Hand to the sky. Let's breathe in. Left hand lowers, right hand draws you to the stretch. Core engages, tailbone tucks, navel back and up to the spine a little bit. Release your hands to the sky. Full breath here. Core engages. Let's bring it forward into that warrior one pose. So we'll bring our arms alongside our body. We'll take our torso forward for flying warrior one. Really engage your core here. So we want to create that sensation of tucking the tailbone, feel the navel move back and up to the spine a little bit. Springing off your back foot, bring it through. Warrior three. We'll try out that balance warrior. And warrior two from here. As you take warrior two, imagine that you could pull your feet in towards one another. So we'll try to feel that our legs are really active and engaged and energized. Reverse, float your front hand up and float it back. Back hand can glide down your back leg. Arm wraps around your low back. Reach for the other hip crease. Take a half bind. Come on through. We're going to bring it down into lateral angle. Maybe extended lateral angles. You can take those variations that you'd like with the hands, top hand and also bottom hand. Almost create a bit of a twisting sensation here. Try to roll the left shoulder back, right shoulder under, heart is shining to the sky. Core engages, let's bring it up. Warrior two. Straighten your front leg, front hand up and back. Reverse triangle stretch. Reaching and stretching from the waist. Lengthen the whole side body, the arm and the fingertips. We are going to take ourselves up to a neutral spine, sitting back and up for pyramid. So this is where that left foot hops forward, not all the way to the top of the mat, but a little bit forward. Hips and shoulders square forward. Hands to the sky, breathe in. Pull down as you breathe out. And then as you're folding here, if you wanted to experience more of a stretch, there's ways to change the stretch up in your body. So if you'd like to bring more weight into your right foot, that can help you to lift your right hip up to balance your hips and your low back. You can also draw your left hip forward and then pull your right hip back. And that's just going to change up the stretch in your legs as well. Right hand to the sky on exhale. Let's land in that pyramid twist. And then as you're twisting here, try to ground really firmly into your left heel. Sometimes that heel will lift up and rise up. So we're going to just press it down. Breathe in and breathe out. Stay here. Maybe challenge yourself. Play with the idea of holding your twist and then lifting your left leg up. Try to lift that left leg as high as you can. Breathe in and breathe out. Right hand for your left foot. You can come into sugar cane here. That twisted sugar cane rather. So you can deepen that stretch even more, or you can just hold it. You can always back out of poses. So listen to your body. We are going to unwrap our pose to standing split. So that left leg releases to the sky, hands to the earth, gaze to the wall behind you. Maybe take your gaze to the ceiling up behind your body. From here, let's bring ourselves to a runner's lunge. In runner's lunge, walk your right foot to the right edge of your mat. We'll bring both of our hands to the inside of the foot. Coming into lizard or gecko. So to make this stretch easier, we are going to lower that left knee down onto the mat. You can stay here on the hands. You may want to drop down to the forearms. You can take your forearms onto blocks here. And we are just going to let ourselves melt. So if you'd like, you can move around. You can find stillness. So there's really no right or wrong. Sometimes movement is nice. It can kind of ease you into the stretch a little bit. And this is a really intense leg and hip stretch. So today we're kind of focusing on the hips, which is nice. I know hips hold a lot of tension. Hips can affect our low back. So this flow is really good for your low back. And, you know, legs as well, hamstrings, calves. And we are going to begin to release this one. To come on out, curl your left toes under. Left foot will take a big step to the upper left edge of your mat. So you will land in a fold with your legs wide. And then staying here, option to come to a yogi squat pose if you'd like. So for yogi squat, you'll want to have your feet as wide as possible. So the wider the feet, the better. That is for your body. And you'll just want your toes to be pointing in the same direction as your knee. Great. Let's come on up. We will do a little reset back into a fold. Walk your feet in line with your hips. And let's bring that right foot back this time. Take your left foot to the left edge of the mat. Both hands to the inside of the foot. And let's find lizard or gecko on this side. And feel free to create a little movement, sometimes a little shifting around. It can ease you into the stretch. Maybe stillness is best for you. You definitely would know what would be best for your body. And I know that this pose isn't easy. It can definitely bring up a lot of stretch. It can bring up a lot of sensation, but just know that we're not going to hold it forever. But it's really great. It's a good pose for your body. There are a lot of really positive benefits. As I shared earlier, good for your hips, your legs, your low back. And release this one. We are going to press down into our hands. Right toes will curl under. Right knee lifts from the mat. Take that big step forward. Right foot to the upper edge of your mat. You can stay here in that fold with your legs wide, or you can try out that squat pose if you would like. So we'll just take our feet nice and wide. Toes turn out, heel shift in. Send your weight back into your heels. Let the toes be a little lighter here. We call this one Malasana, Garland's pose, yogi squats. It has a few different names. We are going to come on out of that one. Let's plant our hands, straighten the backs of the legs. Take your feet in line with your hips, and let's bring ourselves back into plank. High push-up pose here. As you take plank, we are going to lower down, Chaturanga Tadasana. Upward facing dog. So let's breathe here. This is such a nice back bend for the three parts of our back. Downward facing dog and exhale. Knees will begin to lower. Bring our hips to our heels on the exhale for a child's pose. So as you take child's pose, knees can be together. That's going to help you to open up your low back. You can also take your big toes to touch, maybe knees away from one another, giving yourself that nice leg stretch, nice hip stretch. And release. Let's bring ourselves up into table. From table, you can sweep your feet to the right or to the left. And let's bring our legs out in front of us here. We can flex our feet, press to the heels, the backs of the knees. We're going to bring our hands behind our body. Engage your core and lift your hips up. So we're going to take reverse plank here. Feel the tailbone tuck. Feel the navel move back and up to the spine slightly. And then imagining if you could see yourself from the side, try to create this line that flows from the heels to the crown of the head. We are going to lower our hips down. Take a minute here to flex your feet, lengthen your spine, walk your hands in front of you, and then let yourself fold down as you exhale. Try to relax your head, relax your neck. And then flowing up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Bring yourself down onto your back. Take your knees to your chest, hug them in. Let's do a gentle rock to the right, a gentle rock to the left. And then we'll just go side to side here. And then as you create that movement, maybe just feeling this nice release of your low back down into the mat. Bring yourself into circles. Maybe find large circles and maybe find smaller circles here. And as you're circling, just feel this nice gentle release of your low back down onto the mat. And circle in the other direction. So we'll just reverse that movement. And then letting that go. Let's come into stillness here. We'll take a few moments for Shavasana. We'll give ourselves some time to relax, to integrate all of the benefits of our yoga practice into our mind and our body. Maybe laying with the legs straight, maybe bending the knees and planting the feet. So whatever feels best in your body here. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper. And I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe, and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. Let's take a moment here to bring ourselves onto our side. So we'll just find our way into a fetal pose. Maybe create a pillow with the lower arm. Gently support your head and feel your body take the shape of the pose. Coming up, let's bring ourselves into a seated position. And as you come into seated, hands can move into the heart in prayer in Untitled Mudra. Letting the eyes close here. We all come to yoga for vastly different reasons, to connect to our body, our breath, each other, a greater purpose, our community. We come to connect. Yoga in Sanskrit translates to union, to join. It pieces together that which was never actually separate. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. It's great to be here with you, share yoga with you. I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.